What is up, everyone? Welcome to a little midday edition of Over the Top Rope. I have on as a guest today one of my favorite slash worst people, Glamour Boy Khan. How are you doing today?
I'm doing better now. I had a little temper tantrum when I found out this isn't chasing. I saw Chasing the Graph on Twitter. I thought it was
Yeah.
Chasing Glory with Lillian Garcia. You're not Lillian, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I left I left my brunch early for this. I told my friends, I told the girlies, I said, girls, you never guess who I'm doing an interview with at 3. Lillian Garcia from Raw. They were all shocked. And now I'm here. So let's go.
Yeah, that's not a step down. That's a couple of steps down. And as you can tell, I'm not Lillian Garcia. So unfortunately, your story is not going to reach as many followers as you would hope at this point.
Mm, it's
Uh,
fine. I'll give you a chance. You're one of the nice people to me in the crowds at the shows that I'm on. So I will give you a chance this time.
well, I'm very appreciative of that, and I have no pull whatsoever with Lillian Garcia, but I'll put in a good word, and she has
Thank
no clue who I am. So I got
Oh,
you.
she knows who I am, so don't worry about it.
Which is kind of one of the things I was going to touch on because we do interact at shows a lot and stuff, and I have seen that you have on most of your social media bio that you were a former WWE NXT
Hmm.
intern. That's something I actually know nothing about from
Hmm.
your side. Just enlighten us on that experience.
I went to Full Sail University in Orlando. I studied creative writing for social media, script writing, you name it. So
Hmm.
about a year in, because I think they make you wait for a certain amount of time, but about a year in, I ended up getting an internship with NXT. And so in this point now, we're traveling to the coconut shows, all those Florida local, because they need people to do tickets, social media, merch, um, all kinds of things, seating. So I ended up doing that for about a year until I got fired because I wasn't a anymore. Um, but I think if you're looking for a time frame, Asuka was the champion the entire time I was there. So I think she lost it like a couple months after I left.
Okay, yeah. So that was, I mean, that's good to hear that you were, going to school for something, and then you kind of got your
Hmm.
foot in the door for what you had went to school for.
Hmm. Absolutely. It was so fun. Just a lot. And then like seeing like, for example, Bianca Belair. I'm going to be
Mhm.
honest. When I first saw her walk in, she had like the colorful lipstick. I think she came in with Lacey Evans, Otis, and some other people.
Mhm.
Um, but I saw her with the lipstick. I was like, she looks too nice to make it. And like everybody's coming in, they're not wrestlers, and I'm like, well, we'll see how she does. Then fast forward, she's in the main event of WrestleMania, possibly 2 years in a row now. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's definitely
Not that,
interesting. Hmm.
not that she knew you, she was proving you wrong, but kind of proving you wrong.
I was like, this girl looks too nice. And then it was one show in like Citrus Springs. She hit like some sort of somersault off the second rope, and I was like, oh, okay, she might have something.
All right, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, we'll go with that. We'll see what happens from there.
Hmm.
Was did you get to interact with the stars a lot, or was it more of kind of like not like
Hmm.
behind the scenes, but like to the side of the scenes, I guess.
Yeah, once I got more, I guess, trust, they start letting me do social media.
Mm,
So at that point, I got to start the work. We just take a few pictures. I loved working with the girlies. Even then, all the girls were nice. I still chat here and there on Facebook with like Lacey Evans. She was always like super nice with the kids, like making sure we were all like, you guys are good. So she's what you see is what you get with Lacey Evans. She's probably one of the nicer ones. Mandy Rose was a nice one.
mhm.
My first night on social media, I told her, I was like, yeah, it's my first time on social media. So if it sucks, just let me know. And then like she made a point afterwards to come to me and say, "Oh, you did so great. I loved it. It was great." So those two, Lacey Evans and Mandy, stick out as two of the best experiences I had with talent.
That's awesome though, and I'm glad to hear that that they haven't gotten too big to
Mhm.
still talk to Con, which I would imagine that they would always stay in contact with you because who wouldn't want to stay in contact with Con?
Of course, I'm a bundle of joy and inspiration.
Except for when you're insulting people at shows, then you're not.
Well, just because that person doesn't find it inspiring doesn't mean other people don't find it inspiring.
I
I'm
love that perspective.
I'm inspired. I love it.
And that kind of brings me back to something I was gonna bring up. I was scrolling through your Instagram, and you had one of your pictures. You had a shirt on, and it's the greatest shirt I've ever seen, and it describes you like so well. And it says, "Don't touch me, you peasant."
Yes, yes. Oh, where is it? I don't know where it is. But yes, I also have a mask. It came during the time of COVID. And in
Mhm.
general, I don't like people touching me. It's not my favorite thing. Even like, I respect the business and all, but I don't like shaking hands before shows. I'm sorry. It's a tradition. Fine, I'll do it. But I'm good with the hey guys and keep it moving. So it's not my
Yeah,
favorite thing.
like doing chores when you're growing up. It's like I'll do it, but I'm not gonna be happy about it.
What are chores?
Fair enough. That goes back to the peasant thing we were talking about.
I don't know what that is.
One of the things I definitely wanted to ask you because you are a heel, and I think you're an absolutely phenomenal heel.
Thank
When
you.
it comes to working the crowd in the ring, working your opponents, whether it be physically or verbally working them. Has someone
Mhm.
ever said something to you at a show where you're just like, damn, I have nothing for that.
See, I have a trick, and I started this since the beginning. I smile a lot. So I go, hmm. So if someone says something and I want to laugh or I have nothing to say, I just go, hmm, pat my hair and sashay away. That's the benefit of my character. So if I don't have anything witty to say, I can just say, oh, I don't know you. You're scary. Bye. So,
Hit them with that you're a peasant look and keep it moving.
hmm
I recognize that you're a peasant look. Don't ask me how I recognize it, but I do.
hmm
I guess it was about April or May of last year when I first started coming around you guys
hmm
at the LW at the Luchadome,
hmm
and you were in a faction with Jay Malachi and Jackson Drake and Maurice Moss. Is that still a thing? Is that still not a thing?
I still talk to them. Those are my children, my children. I nurse Jack here and I nursed Malachi here on my bosom. They are my children. So I definitely do. And Maurice, he's around somewhere. But yes, we are all very much still in contact. I'm trying to mend the fences. Jack and Malachi are at odds right now. But
Definitely.
yeah, I'm kind of the middleman right now. I tried to get him to sit down last week at a dinner. Didn't happen. Drinks were thrown. It's okay. It didn't mess up my hair. So we're good.
Okay, good. That's all that matters. And at least you didn't invite them to that brunch that you abruptly left today for no reason at all.
No, that was for the girlies. That was for, my Ella Envy, my Selena Rose. We were just talking about the do's and the don'ts of bitch style wrestling.
Bitch style wrestling. I haven't heard that before.
That is, for example, instead of getting someone doing a body slam, why not grab them by their hair, put your knee out, and break their back over your knee? Less effort from you, probably does more damage. Vicious. Psychology of wrestling.
And a lesser peasant like myself, we would call that probably working smarter, not harder. But
Mm,
bitch wrestling is a far, far better term for that.
yeah, you got strong style and you got bitch style. And that's me.
We should start a promotion, bitch style wrestling.
I love it. I love it. I would definitely be the champion for probably longer than 365 days because no one has mastered bitch style wrestling quite like I have.
Yeah, I think that is I think that's very appropriate, and
Mhm.
I have no doubt that you would be the bitch style champion. I would say
Yes,
I would say the bitch champion, but that just goes into a whole nother realm.
it's okay. It's okay. It's all good. It's all whatever you want to make it. You take the word and you empower yourself with it. I'm the bitch champion. I love that.
Hmm. Yeah, I can live with that. I can run with that, and I'm sure you know enough people that we could start a promotion with like some alternate wrestling rules that just really highlights the bitch style wrestling.
Absolutely. No suplexes. The control your narrative that has the no, was it Canadian destroyers? No suplexes, no picking up, no slamming. Only hair pulls, mat slams with the hair, maybe a woman special slap number two here and there if you're feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
and if the men decide they want to join bitch style wrestling, maybe a low blow here and there.
Yeah, yeah, low blow, little snapmare, the simple stuff. Why work
This,
harder when you don't have to?
yeah, in and out, done. Bitch style
Mm.
wrestling. There you go. The bitch style in and out. I think we just came up with $1 million idea and didn't really mean to.
I love it. I love it.
And I'm sure you already have money, so you're not that worried about it.
Yeah, it's geez, not even a issue. I what is that?
It would just be for fun for you and for the children.
Yeah, wrestle. Well, the children. Ugh.
I specifically said that because I knew I was going to get that reaction.
Connie is not for the kids. I am
Not for
not for the children. Ages 14 and down. 15. Once you can start driving, you're in the clear with me.
so if there's a kid at a show, let's say 10-year old just letting you handle it, are you going to give them a smoke the same as you would a 40-year-old?
I would probably let at this point Malachi handle it because he's technically still a minor. So there's no issues there. So I'm like, you know what, handle that kid over there, child of mine.
And then
I,
you're in the clear. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
nothing but genius up there.
I try. I've been at this for a long time. Started in CWF in
Mhm.
2017. So, I'm very much so a keep your mouth shut and eyes open, once you're kind of coming in. So you learn a lot of things. I surely did.
And some of that stuff I'm sure was learned the hard way.
Yes. Oh, have you heard of Trevor Lee's training sessions?
I have not. I know Trevor Lee, but I don't know his training sessions.
Luckily, I didn't have to do a whole lot of them because I was training more so as a manager. But it was conditioning, conditioning, conditioning throughout the whole 2, 3 hours we were there. It's
That's
rough.
what I don't like conditioning. Don't like
Mhm,
it.
That's why I do bitch style.
And see, that's what I'm talking about right there. It's like you know what you're capable of, and you know your limits, and so just get it done. Be done with it.
Yes, exactly. If you want the flipping and stuff, that's why we've got Jack. That's why we've got Malachi. And I'm just gonna pull someone's hair out and scream in their ear till they're deaf, and they can't kick out because they can't hear the pin.
I can't think of anything better. I really can't. I could probably sit here the rest of the day and couldn't think of anything better than that. In that same respect, what do you say to people that say, "Oh my God, Khan cheated to win"? Like Khan cheated.
What what did they want me to do? Again, work smarter, not harder. And when it comes to me in the ring, again, work smarter, not harder. And as if I'm managing, wouldn't you do anything to help your family member and your loved ones if you saw that they were in trouble? I'm just like all of you. I'm a family man. Family man con. That's me.
So, so would you? You're saying that you would come to your friend, your confidant's aid the same way that Will came to Jada's aid, is what you're telling me.
Well, not in front of all the important people, um, but I do dish out a really good slap. I have to give him a 10 out of 10 on that slap. He had
Okay.
the nice motion. I like to add a little jump for effect. Social media loves that, but he did very good. I love that for him.
So you're giving Will Smith slap on Chris Rock a 10 out of 10, Khan's official 10 out of 10.
Absolutely, absolutely. I that's borderline tape study. Mandatory. Mhm.
Speaking, speaking of tape study and being trained and all that, you recently wrestled a gentleman who helped train you, and it really didn't go your way, Cowboy Cool J.
How dare he? He did not teach me everything that he knew, and I don't really feel like I lost. I feel like he lost as a trainer because he taught me, right? And then
Hmm.
I wasn't able to win. So that's a reflection on him and not me.
You
See?
know, I didn't look at it like that in the time. I was just so caught up in the fact that you were like, "Oh yeah, Nightdale's my hometown. I effing hate you, Nightdale." And
Hmm.
I was like, how do you really disrespect the town that you're from, the town you grew up in? And so I was still caught up in that. So I wasn't really thinking about the logistics behind the match. But I, now that you've given me that thought, I don't see how you're wrong in that.
Yeah. So I didn't lose. Cool J lost, even though he won, but he also lost.
Yeah, because as his his understudy, his protege, you would think he would want to put you over so he could be like, oh man, my trainee beat me. How
Hmm.
far did you go?
Exactly. And I've got more Twitter followers than him, I'm sure. So it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
That your Twitter handle every time I see it, it kills me. It cracks me up. Lita's Hora
Yeah.
Kenrana.
Yes, I wish I was a flippy person to
Mhm.
where I could do a diving horror Karana, because that's what I would call it. Khan's horror Karana. Why hasn't no one thought of that? Hmm. Maybe
Maybe
I can probably convince some people to call it a horror Karana. Maybe my frenemy Caden Pierre will do it. We'll see.
yeah. I was gonna bring that up too because we were at Hit Club Pro 2 last Friday, Friday before, and
Hmm.
you were announcing. It was the first time you've ever announced, if I'm
Hmm.
correct.
Yeah. Ugh. I'm a very confident individual, and I am always going to give it my best effort. But ring announcing, it was terrifying. Not gonna lie, it's terrifying. But yes, ring announcing.
And the battle royal was happening. You were announcing individuals as they were coming out, and Caden comes out, and immediately me and Wild Thing Larry and a couple of other people noticed some eye rolling, some blah kind of thing going on. So, what's up with that?
So I'll give you an exclusive of what happened earlier, leading up to that moment.
I'm listening.
Caden. So Caden is essentially my rookie, right? I
Mhm.
started in this business before he did. Before I came along, there was no one of the queer kind of flamboyant character in this
Mhm.
area, right? So
Correct.
being the good veteran that I am, tried to impart some knowledge on him. I'm not necessarily in the ring like he is, right? But I've seen some stuff, I've heard some stuff. I wanted to impart some. He was rude. And me as the vet, I feel like he should pay homage to me. He should appreciate who I am. And I just felt like he was a disrespectful rookie. And he's going to make me have to step my game up because, quite frankly, I have forgotten more about this business than Caden Pierre will ever know.
Okay. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I do think that as a veteran, there's a rite of passage, kind of, carry the equipment, set up
Mm-hmm.
the room while you just watch and direct kind of thing.
I'm not one big on tradition, but when it comes to Kano Kelly, you pay your respect and you pay your homage, and you thank me for paving the way for you. So that's all the issue was. But I'm sure, he'll get it together. We're not enemies at this point, but I'm sure he'll come to his senses.
Is it getting there?
Yeah.
Is it getting to the point where you're like, we might have to step in the ring and square this one away?
And as I said, I'm ready for that because quite frankly, we see Caden out here. He's doing his thing. I'm a little bit more reserved, but I've got it. I've got it. I'm the strong bitch style champion. So we'll yeah. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. I like Caden Pierre.
Yeah, hopefully, Caden can get his stuff together and kind of take a back seat and learn what needs to be said and when it needs to be said. There's a time and a place for everything, and
Hmm.
disrespecting your veterans doesn't seem like there's a good time or place for that.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that. All right. Well, I'm glad we discussed that. Because now we can kind of put the puzzle pieces together on that one. I, for one, am glad that we talked about it. I don't know if you're glad we talked about it, but it's out in the open. It is what it
I,
is.
I'm an open book. Open legs, open book. That's me.
Open legs, open book. And there's the freaking motto of that bitch style wrestling.
Yes, absolutely.
Jesus Christ, man. Somebody's going to see this, and like a month from now, we're going to start seeing Twitter accounts and Facebook pages called, that bitch style wrestling. So I might need to get somebody to trademark it before somebody steals our $1 million idea.
I'm gonna call Chris Jericho. He's really good at that stuff.
Le Champion.
Yes. Yes. He's got all kinds of patents and copyrights. So we'll discuss.
He really does. Jesus Christ, does he really? And Chris Jericho's in AEW. Do you prefer WWE over AEW? Do you really even watch it, or do you even really care?
I watch everything. I'm a student of the game. So I like to know what's going on, what's doing well. I feel like that's important. I don't like it when guys are like, "Oh, I don't watch." They just wrestle, and I'm just like, "Oh, if you want to make money, you need to know what's good." Um, I watch everything. I don't necessarily prefer one or over the other.
Mhm.
Um, because I think both have their low points where I'm kind of like, whatever. I like storytelling and character work. So
Yes.
if I had to choose, NXT is probably like the most. If I'm viewing Kano Kelly where I would be, NXT is probably like the most character driven storyline place that I would like. So, you know,
Yeah,
I'm not a huge wrestling person. I just, it just happens. If wrestling has to be involved to tell the story, I'm good with it.
I love it. I love that that's the way you put it because, I think that some, I won't name them, but some independent promotions I've been to, they're not huge on storytelling. And if they do, it's like a 1 week, 2 week, like it might go over like 2 shows or 3 shows, but that's about it. But
Hmm.
there with you on that one. I'm very big on gimmicks and I'm very big on the individual kind of taking that gimmick and making it their own and running with it, and also the storytelling. And I get a lot of people say that, oh, that's the old fashioned way. That's the old way things were done. Like,
I'm like, they still tell stories on NBC, ABC with these primetime dramas. So, um, it's still very current storytelling.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, even if somebody says like, oh, it's the old way of doing things back in the like the Attitude Era. Raw was doing like 7 million, almost 8 million in views every Monday night, and that's just like unheard of nowadays. So I mean, it's like, yeah, that may be the old way, but it was working.
It was working somehow. I,
And speaking of working, what do you got coming up? Are you Are you going to be anywhere managing wrestling coming up?
No, no set. Well, my next, because I'm still dipping my toe in the wrestling thing. So it's
Gotcha.
kind of, I'm kind of saying yes to some things and no to other things. So my next booking officially is June 4th and June 5th in, I believe, Raleigh at the fairgrounds for Gouge Wrestling.
Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, I'm sure I'll do some things in between time because that's a long period. But there's like AIWF out in Mount Airy. I really like their vibe, so I'll probably pop in a few times there. Um, of course, American Lucha Wrestling will be running some shows. I'll have to see if I'm needed or see what's going on if my boys are there. Then I'll be there too. But here and there, you can always follow along on my Twitter. I always post every single thing that I do.
You're like me. You're like me. I tweet way too much.
I probably tweet more than I should. I occasionally will get a message from one of the guys who's helping me develop in the ring, Tim. He's like,
Hmm.
behave. He'll send me a tweet that I tweet. He's like, behave. Like, stop being this way on Twitter, being disgusting. So I
Twitter's
should
wild.
probably.
Twitter's wild, so you got to be wild too. That's the way I look at it.
Well, yeah, yeah. But as I'm starting to get more, I guess, names in the business to follow me somehow, some way. So I'm like, ooh, maybe I should turn it up.
Not turn down, turn up.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it. Yeah. And for anyone that wants to follow you, your Instagram and your Twitter handles are in the description of this video. It's hyperlinked, so all they have to do is click it. If
Mm.
they're lazy or claim to be lazy, there's no excuse. You just click the link and it takes you to your social media. So if
Don't be
you,
lazy. It's unbecoming.
yes, no one likes lazy.
Mm-mm. This guy.
Although I got off work at 11 and then I sat on the couch till about 2:55 today. So
Oh no. Oh no. See, I've been to brunch. I went shopping. I did my yoga. I did my hair. Ooh.
and you did more and than I did in the 3 hours I was at work. That's wild.
Yes, and I'm going to cook some Japanese burger in a few minutes after this is done. So yeah, always productive, always working.
And I absolutely love that. And hopefully we can get Cool J working with you so that he doesn't fail you anymore.
I have dropped Cool J and his uh, Cool J's done. I don't love Cool J. Cool J doesn't love me. Yes, exactly. Out of here. He's a peasant to me now.
Peasant. I love
Mhm.
it. I love it. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Over the Top Rope. Con, I really appreciate you leaving your brunch just to be disappointed by someone with nowhere near the amount of followers that Lillian Garcia has. So the fact that you hung out, you stuck around, I really, really appreciate it. And
Mhm.
the next show that I see you at, I will not be mean to you in the honor of you sticking around.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll have my boys near me just in case you forget and you renege on that offer.
Not gonna happen. Nope. I've
Okay,
seen
I'll hold you to it. I'll hold you to it.
I've seen Maurice, Jay, and Jackson in enough matches to know, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I really appreciate it, Con. I really appreciate you taking the time. And everyone that viewed this and is gonna view this, like I said, Con's social medias are in the description. You go follow him, and you have no excuse not to. I really
Mm.
appreciate one that tuned in. That's gonna do it, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Over the Top Rope.